Hi, welcome to part 2 of the Quadrajet rebuild for the 1984 Sea Ray Cuddy cabin. So gang, if you remember in the last video, we did the teardown on the Quadrajet. So in that time, what I ended up doing to clean it, I got myself one of those ultrasonic cleaners, and I ran the carburetor parts through that, got the carburetor all cleaned. The ports and everything are clear. And so now we're ready to start putting it back together. So with that, let's get to work. So here's all the parts. Now that I've had them cleaned and time to dry, I even cleaned these parts. So everything is ready to start being reassembled. But there is one thing that I need to work on, and I'll show you right now. So if you remember me reporting, some problems that they have with the Quadrajets is that these seats right here will start to leak. And then what that'll do is these journals hold fuel for the next start, so that when you start it up, you shut it off and you get ready to start it up, you don't have long cranks or hard starts, what they call. So what I'm gonna do before we start getting this put back together is I'm gonna mix up some JB Weld and put some JB Weld over these ports. That's one of the fixes that they say to do to stop that. So all right, I'm gonna turn it towards you and work this way. Okay, so what I got, the JB Weld that I'm using, it's heat resistance epoxy, up to 550 degrees Fahrenheit with 4,730 PSI strength. So this right here should be more than strong enough to do what I needed to do to seal up these ends to keep them from leaking. So don't need a lot, I'm gonna do a little bit at a time. That should be enough to get done with what we need to do. And I'm just gonna mix it up. There it is. Okay. All right. Let's mix some more. Okay. And let's get this going. Put a little bit on. And then what you want to do is just coat these ports. Okay, that should be enough to get that one right. All right, get this one. All right, and then on these two little shiny ports, that's what needs to be covered. Okay, for the most part, we are good to go. Now it says this has takes about an hour to cure. So we'll come back in an hour and see how it's set up. Okay, it's been a little bit over 2 hours, I'd say. So this should be cured. So that's what we're gonna do, a test and feel how it is. So it's still a little tacky. We can see that it hasn't cured completely. So at this point, I'm gonna let this dry today, and then I'll come back tomorrow and finish putting this back together. So it's dry, looks good. We're ready to start putting this carburetor back together. So with that, let's put it back together. Okay, first thing that I need to do is get the bottom gasket. Here's my kit. So as you can see, it has all of the placement tools, gaskets that I need. So the bottom plate gasket, that's the one that we took off. So let's see what we got in here to replace that. There's two types. You have this type that has that little opening between these two areas. Okay, this one I don't need. I read somewhere you use this if you got some type of secondary leak or some type of something secondary, but this is not what I want to use. So for our situation, the one that I want to use is this one. All right, as we see, it matches up just like that. So we're going to get it put on. You got a couple little tabs right here that we want to press on, and I just want to double check with this one over the top. Yep, the exact same. Okay, so got our gasket on. Now we need to put our bottom plate on. Down. Took some time, but it's on there. So now I can put my 2 screws in. And on. Now tighten these down. Couldn't find no torque specs, but I would say you don't want to overdo it. There we go. Okay. Then I'm shining light to make sure I don't see any light pressed out through the bottom of that bottom plate, and it looks good. Okay, we have the bottom plate on. Okay, so next we're going to start putting in all of our internal parts. So the first thing is we need to put our jets in. I'm going to clean these up a little bit. And that's all I'm doing is cleaning them up with some small carburetor brushes. A little bit of carburetor clean. Ooh, almost dropped it. So taking that and sticking it down here. Okay, that's one jet that's in. Get the second one, clean it, and install it. Gonna stick this one in now. And you don't have to when you install this stuff, it doesn't have to be really super tight, but you want it to be in there. So there's my 2 bottom jets right there. Got those installed. Now what I want to do is install my check valve, which I have a new check valve in here. And we got it. And the check valve goes right in there, right down in there. Now, I was told that you tap it a little bit to make sure that it seats well. Next thing that we need to sit is going to be our float seat, the gasket. Next thing that we need to do is spring. Okay, the spring here. Goes down in there. All right, I want to make sure the jets. That's nice. Then this little seal needs to get pressed back in. That's what holds it in place. Okay. And that's what I want it to be. Like that. The next thing that we put in is the float. Now, I think I'm going to stick with my original float. I'm not going to replace my float. But I am going to use the new seat needle for the seat. Okay, and the way that you set that on there, you don't put it in the little holes, you just put it right across like that. Okay. Now, this is what you use to measure the height from this for the float. So I'm gonna go and look in the book and see what it says, what the height should be. I think it's 1/16 of an inch, but we're gonna double check. Okay, when marking the measurement, check that. Measurement is 15/64 in. If not, carefully bend the float 15/64. Okay, 15/64. So we're gonna push here. Yep. 16/64. Perfect. In. Float pin is in. Got a little lube in there. We're looking good, gang. Oh, the last thing that you put in is this. This sits right there, in there like that. Next thing is an accelerator pump. What I do is compare it with the old one. There's the old one. There's the new one. Looks pretty good. All right. I don't know if I need to put my accelerator pump in now, but the next thing that we go to is the top gasket, which is this gasket. Now, I have to open this up right here. Kind of push that down because that's going to come underneath our metering rod here like that. Come in like that. We'll stick that there, accelerator pumps there. All right, we're looking good, gang. All righty, now it's time to put the top back on. Okay. All right, we got the accelerator pump in there. We got the top back on with a new gasket. Everything is looking good, looking good. Okay, let's go back together. So let me put this in. Okay, got that. And I can hear that accelerator pump. Sounds so good. Okay. Alrighty, so now we can start putting all of our screws back in. All right. And again, when working with a carburetor, it's good to use hand tools and not power tools because you can feel it. Well, a lot of us old school techs, we like to feel it. I like to feel the tension on the bolts, and it'll let you know if you over tightening or. All right, so I got these two now. I can kind of work back. And come down in here and get these two. And remember, when I took this apart, these bolts were very loose. Okay. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, got all our bolts in. They're all tight, so now what I have to do is the accelerator pump. Put the accelerator pump pin in. Get the accelerator pump. Goes into the second, if you remember. All right, accelerator pump is in. Okay, I got one last thing, a couple things to put in. I gotta put these needles in, but yes, and you can hear it now. Hear that accelerator pump? That's what we want to hear. All right, you need to get these down here. Okay, we're almost to the end. I just gotta tighten this nut that holds down those two rods. And we are done. Well, I got the filter to put in. Okay, so we're gonna put the filter in, and then we're gonna call this one good. You got the spring, put the spring in there. We have a new gasket rolling. So we're gonna put this in. I'm gonna clean that out down in there. Cool. Get that all cleaned down in there. Got it done. So that was it. Not too difficult. For years, I was afraid to tackle those carburetors, and I'm glad that I got to do it now because, really once you get into it, it wasn't really that difficult. So what do we have coming up? Within the next couple of weeks, I'll get the boat back over here, get the carburetor back installed on it, and see if we can get this boat started. Like I said, when I took the carburetor off, the fuel was the first problem that I noticed, so that's why I tackled it first. So I'm hoping that I got the fuel system all squared away. I'm not quite sure what's going on with the ignition, but we'll find that out when we get the carburetor installed. My hopes is that at least I can get the boat running to identify where the timing is. So we're getting close to being able to fire the old boy up. And then another thing I got to tell you is I renamed it. So when it gets here, I'll go over what the new name is. All right, I'll see you guys on the next episode of the Golden Spear Homestead. Have a good night. So there you go, guys. Quadrajet carburetor completely rebuilt.